As you guys know, this thing ran like complete garbage when we picked it up. Poke it at. It's a rough idle. It bogs down. You can't really drive it at all. We finally did get it to start and run and move enough to get it on the trailer. It is not burning fuel or combusting properly. It definitely has a misfire. We're gonna go ahead and freshen up the ignition system and the fuel system. So we have some plug wires, we have a new fuel filter, we have a PCV valve, we have a rotor, spark plugs, air filter, distributor cap, we have some gas struts for the liftgate because I am currently holding the liftgate up with some kind of weird hammer that I found in the truck. And of course we're going to do a oil change on it. So without further ado, we're going to do a little preview of how this thing runs. First off, as soon as I give it throttle, it wants to die. These struts on the liftgate, I think that's going to make it run right. These actually add a little bit of horsepower because they're gas charged. So our first little ordeal, I've been looking for this. This is the new fuel filter that I got with a little tune-up kit that I bought. Everyone told me that it would be around the oil filter because I could not find it. But this little guy looks just like a fuel filter. I ended up pulling it and gas pours out, of course. I was beating this up against the concrete. All kinds of trash came out of it. Jeez, I hope that did not clog up any of the injectors. That would not be good. I don't want to have to pull those because I don't think it's very easy to pull the injectors in this vehicle. For one, the fuel filter was hooked up backwards. So I am going to have to run to the auto parts store and get a new one of these. Hopefully they have one that looks very similar. For now though, I'm going to go ahead and start on probably the distributor cap, rotor, and plugs and wires. Get that out of the way. I think next after that I'll probably do this. I'm kind of curious as to what this air filter looks like, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. This air filter is really not that bad at all. It's got a little bit of dust and dirt in there, but for the most part, holy cow, this thing is really clean. I bet it's new. So I'm gonna hold on to it because this looks like a good air filter, and these things are usually not cheap. So we're gonna hold on to this, and I will put this in when the new one goes bad. But for now, I'm gonna stick the new one in there. Alright, so as I'm pulling these plug wires, I'm noticing a little bit of corrosion on the ends. This is the one that shocked me. I mean, it's zip tied together. Obviously, this needs replaced. So I just got my first plug pulled, and it reeks of gas, and it's black. I don't know if we might have a like an injector issue. It's definitely running rich though. Here are the plugs so far. They're all black with looks like some sludge on it, but they're wet. They smell like fuel. They smell like varnish, honestly. We'll replace them and hopefully we don't have this issue again. The old distributor and the old rotor, and this is the new distributor and the new rotor. As you can see, you can tell by the color, this one's definitely got a couple miles on it. It doesn't hurt to replace this. I don't know that it's going to change very much. I do believe that this has a lot of corrosion in it, and that is definitely going to affect the way it fires, which could be our issue, but we will find out when we get it running. All right, so we have our new rotor on there. Now I'm just gonna put the new cap on here, and then we'll hook all the wires up to the new plugs that I've already installed. Okay, so we have our new air filter. We have pulled the fuel filter. We'll get a new one of those pretty soon. We have new plugs, new wires, new rotor, new cap. I verified that all of them are connected and they're all in the right place. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably drain the gas nut to drain the fuel tank. I'm just gonna break it off with this Milwaukee. What the heck? That was weird. Oh, it's dead. Huh. See if it'll break it anyways. Look at that. Dead battery. Definitely don't want to be under there when something goes off. Pretty old looking. So while that finishes up draining, I'm gonna go ahead and crack the oil pan, get it draining out. Oh jeez. Okay, I didn't realize it was all the way out. I don't even know how to spell torque spec. Oddly enough, not a lot of oil came out of there. Not sure why. Alright, now time to go with some fresh oil. We got a pretty blue oil filter. We're gonna place this cheap Walmart brand Fram filter. Guys, I don't like Fram. I've had bad experiences. Oh my gosh, it just poured oil everywhere. I figured it would actually be empty. And the new one goes in. I did put some new clean oil around the seal. Hand tighten it for now. And I'll crank it one time with a wrench. Gently. There we go. Just crack it. Feels kind of dry in there. No funnel. We're just gonna freehand her. Oh geez. Maybe I should not have done that. Smooth, steady motions. Oh, you can hear it draining in the motor, filling everything up. Alright, now this calls for 7.8 liters, or I'm sorry, quarts. Okay, I'm gonna make sure. Oh my gosh. No! No! See if that did it. Yeah, that should be enough. I'm gonna check the, I'm gonna let it sit for a couple minutes and I'm gonna check the dipstick. I have a bottle of seafoam that has like a quarter left in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in here. Help clean everything up. And it's full, so we're gonna go ahead and put this back on here. And we're gonna run to the auto parts store, get an oil filter that, a fuel filter that matches. Hopefully this thing will start up and run perfectly fine. Fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. I know it's probably gonna smoke now because I poured oil all over it. Added oil to the motor, literally. That's how you do it right there. Make sure you get it all over the motor so it stays lubricated. I pay a lot of stupid tax. Oh, did you see that? Look at that junk that just came out of there. Ugh. Yeah, so I really hope the injectors aren't clogged. Alright, I just noticed some sloshing noises. Can you hear that? Hang on. Yeah, there's water in this thing. So while you're at the auto parts store, you can so conveniently drain your Porsche. Yeah, I don't recommend using your key because these are not cheap at the Porsche dealership. Oh yeah. Just leave that right there. No one will steal it. Over to the other side. Oh yeah. Now you can drain your Porsche while you're going into the auto parts store. And nobody will ask what that is that's coming out from underneath your car. And when you're done, so we got the new fuel filter here. It's identical to the one I pulled off. We're gonna run this for a little while, and then when I get the fittings, I'm going to put the stock one back on there. And it's gonna be facing the bottom, not the top, because it comes in from the bottom down there from the fuel tank. The lines run all the way back from the fuel tank up to here, come up into the filter, in, and then it goes out this way up to this fuel rail. All right, I've got it changed out now. I had to cut one of the ends off because it was kind of rotted away. Should be ready to go. I'm gonna double check, make sure I didn't get it backwards. And I did not. Okay, so I just pulled the PCV valve. It was that piece right there. It was not hard at all to change. I'm sorry, pull off. If you notice, there's a huge difference in the new one and the old one. The new one is a lot smaller than the old one is. So I'm not gonna change that. I'm just gonna shoot some cleaner in here. It seems to be functioning properly anyways, but we'll go ahead and clean it. I sprayed the PCV valve down with some cleaner, carbon choke cleaner. Seems like it freed it up a little bit. All right, so I just put, I guess, 2 5-gallon tanks in it, new gas, and I'm gonna put the seafoam in there. How much are you supposed to use? All of it. So new fuel, PCV valve changed, fuel filter changed, distributor, rotor, distributor cap. We got the new plug wires, we got plugs, we got an oil filter, oil change, air filter. I can't think of anything else. Let's see if this thing will run. It's gonna take a minute for it to get all the fuel up. Oh baby, it is not even trying to die at the moment. I think we just fixed it, boys. All right, so real quick, we will go ahead and change these shocks out. These are tough support gas charged, let's see, tough support shocks, that's what they're called. So as you can see, I got this little hammer ordeal hanging it up right now. Spray some WD-40 in there so it'll come off easier. This little kit actually comes with I don't know what you call it. I guess like new ball. I'm gonna call it a joint. It comes with a new ball joint, but that's not what it's called. It's stiff enough, it's holding up the whole door by itself. So this is the old one over here. I'll go ahead and change it out next. All right, it's been idling a little while. We're gonna go ahead and take off. See if we can get this thing to go. I'm trying to figure out how to hold the light. There's no light in here, so we'll take her down the road. Oh my gosh, dude, this thing is actually moving. And it sounds great. It actually sounds really good. Okay, but for some reason it says we're going 80 miles an hour when we're not. Alright, so we'll have to fix that. We just went 110. Oil pressure looks good. I'm not sure that the temp gauge works either, but we have this one down here. So, I mean, it appears to be fine. and we just went like 182. This is crazy. Guys, a little update. So I was having this issue for a minute. I could only get up to like 40 miles per hour, and then it would hit rev limiter at 3,000 RPM. And so I manually shifted it into third gear, and then it would get up to like about 55 or so, and then it would do it again. It would start hitting rev limiter and it would not shift anymore. So I kept messing with it. I kept trying to get on it, work it in, I guess. I ended up moving the shifter back and forth just between drive and third several times while the rev limiter was hitting, and it kicked into gear one time and it has not done it since. I'm in drive right now and I just hit about 60 and it kept going. So now it's actually like wanting to go now, which is really good. It's almost like the transmission was not shifting into gear there for a minute. I'm not sure why, but I guess it just needed a little stretch, and she seems good now. Let's see if it... Yeah, see, she's going. Got a ton of mess to clean up. All these parts and all these... Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow morning. Hope you guys like part 2. Part 3 will be out soon, and it's going to be over stripping this whole interior out, detailing each individual piece, and putting it all back in. Basically, I'm going to show you how I got the interior to be this clean. If you do like the video, hit the like button. If you want push notifications when I post another video, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to start up Mitsubishi GT3000 VR4 videos pretty soon, and I got some pretty cool ideas for those. And I hope to see you guys in part 3.